Welcome to Silverlight Education. So in this lecture, we're going to discuss the BZYCT 133 course syllabus. I know, the full title, Comparative Anatomy and Developmental Biology of Vertebrates. It's a real mouthful, right? But trust me, you're going to want to stick with me, because hidden inside all that is an absolutely fascinating story about life itself.
You see, when you strip everything else away, this entire course is really just a big quest. A quest to answer two super fundamental questions. And we're not talking about boring textbook questions here, no. These get right to the very heart of how life is even built, and how it all begins.
Okay, so the first big question is, how is an animal's body actually built? Just think about it. It's kind of like we're getting the complete blueprint for a really complex machine. We're going to explore all the parts, all the pieces. This is really the what of it all, the anatomy.
And then we get to the second question. And this one, it feels almost magical. It's the origin story. How in the world does one single microscopic cell transform into a complex living creature? It's incredible. This is the how of development. So the big question is, how does this course even begin to tackle all of this?
Well, it gives us a roadmap, a 4-part roadmap to be exact. You can think of each part as a block, and each block builds on the one before it. It's all designed to guide us on this amazing journey, starting with the basic structure and taking us all the way to, well, the miracle of creation.
So here's how it's laid out. We kick things off with the foundational anatomy, the basics. Then we move on to the more advanced systems that control everything. After that, we dive into the core principles of development, and finally, we get to see those principles in action. So let's break down that first half.
All right, part 1, the body's blueprint. Okay, a really great way to think about this first half is to imagine you're building a computer. Block 1, that's all your hardware, the essential physical parts you need. And block 2, well, that's the software. The complex programs and control systems that make all that hardware actually do something useful.
So, digging into block 1, this is where we cover that core hardware. We're talking about things like the integumentary system, which is basically an animal's outer covering, and of course the skeleton. Then you've got the essential engines for digestion, breathing, and circulation. These are the absolute must-have fundamentals.
Then we move on to block 2, and this is where we get to the software. This is the cool stuff. These are the body's incredible control systems. You've got the nervous system, which is like the central processor. The sense organs, those are your inputs. And the endocrine system, well, that's what's regulating everything from behind the scenes.
Which brings us to part 2, from cell to creature. So now that we know what the machine looks like, we have to ask, where does this amazing thing even come from in the first place?
And you guessed it, just like the first half, this part is also split in two. Block 3 is all about the theory. These are the fundamental rules, the playbook for how life is built. And then block 4 is the practical, which is where we get to see all those rules play out in the real world.
So think of block 3 as opening life's instruction manual. It's fascinating. We learn how cells talk to each other, how a new organism actually begins, and we dive deep into really critical early stages like gastrulation. And gastrulation, that's the moment a simple little ball of cells starts organizing itself into the layers that are going to become everything: skin, muscles, organs, you name it.
And then block 4 is where we see all that theory put into practice with 3 incredible case studies: a frog, a chick, and even early human development. And this, to me, is where it gets just mind-blowing. You get to see how the exact same set of rules can end up producing such radically different creatures. It's amazing.
Okay, so let's pull all these pieces together and look at the big picture. So here it is, the key takeaway for the whole course. It's really just one big, cohesive story. Part 1, the anatomy part, that's the what. It's all about understanding the finished machine. But part 2, the development part, that's the how. It's the absolutely incredible story of how that machine gets built right from scratch.
It really is a beautiful story told in 2 parts. You have the structure, and then you have the beginning of that structure. When you understand both, you're not just studying biology anymore, you're basically decoding the master plan of life itself, which kind of leaves you with one final big thought, right? How can one simple set of rules be flexible enough to build every single vertebrate that has ever lived? We will meet you in the next lecture.